Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS22 Let's Map video. In this video you can enjoy with me the birth of my upcoming American map called Marigold Farm. And this is really the first beginning, and I shouldn't have done it because I'm still working on my German map, but it takes so long to build all the buildings for this German map, and I wanted to start with my American map so urgently that I thought, okay, I just start and then I build on it slowly by slowly from time to time, and when the German map is finally done, then I can build on the American map faster. That is my idea. Yeah, and I thought maybe you'd like to take part in the creation of this map. For sure I will work a lot without filming because it's hours and hours and hours, about 1,000 hours you need to build a map. But the most interesting parts I would like to make as videos for you, maybe even sometimes streaming if you like. Yeah, and here this is the first beginning. I wanted to make the video even about making this first beginning, but then I pressed the wrong button for recording and had some difficulties to get the terrain height correctly, but I think now this is working rather nicely. So as you can see, I have the actual map in the center. It's a standard size map because the map will come out for consoles. That is always very important for me. And here those are the background mountains. And yeah, those will stay the same for quite a while. Later I will make some trees here and there. And as you can see, this is not the typical totally flat American map. I start on removing those steps while I talk, because this is a work where you can easily talk. So let's see. No, this is too small. Maybe 50. Yeah. So I just have to smooth everything, and maybe later I will model the stuff by hand as well. So I wanted to make a map where we have some mountains and forests as well, so that you can cut down some trees, but it shouldn't be a forest map. And you have area with small and medium-sized field and area with large fields, or what I would count as large fields. And yeah, as it's a normal size map, the fields won't be huge, and they would just be large. And I thought, okay, how could I do this? This wouldn't work in the plains of America, and I think you've got quite a lot of those. And here I need to lift it a little bit. Let's go there. Does it work? It should. Yes, now it does. Okay, so yeah, very good. Oh, but I don't want to have the noise. Come on. Deactivate. Because it should stay smooth, at least for the moment. Here, a little lifting. Yes. And so I asked myself, do you know many areas where there are mountains in the US and where they, or you guys, you American guys, can do agriculture even if there are mountains. And yeah, there are mountains, there are a lot of mountains in the Rocky Mountains, for example. And I remembered that I once saw a picture of the Yellowstone River. And now I know the Yellowstone River is very, very long, but in this moment I didn't knew it. And it was exactly what I wanted to have. So a valley where we can have fields more or less large and mountains behind or around this valley. And I thought, oh, this sounds good. So then I looked for the Yellowstone River in Google Earth, and yeah, it's very long. It's more than 1,000 kilometers long, and it's very different at different places. And I didn't want to make a realistic build, so a build from a real area. I only wanted to have it inspired by an area. And therefore you could say this map is loosely inspired by the Yellowstone River area. Somewhere where the valley of the Yellowstone is rather big, that you can have enough fields, but only loosely inspired. Yeah, and the rest is my fantasy. And maybe you can tell me if I make something that is not American at all. Yeah, because I've been in America, but only 3 times, and not in this area what I want to build. And where I've been, that wouldn't be a good place for a map. And I really want to have this mountainous area with fields in the valley, because I think that's really nice. And I love to have some trees and a little bit forest on a map. So the beginning of the idea was something like, it would be awesome to have a map that is a combination of Elm Creek and Silver Run Forest. Because I like Silver Run Forest, but I don't like that it only has 3 fields. And I would have preferred to have more fields there. And I like Elm Creek, but I don't like the highway in the middle of Elm Creek. I know, I heard there are a lot of highways in America, but for my playing fun, it would have been enough to have the road from the shop to the farm. This is enough highway, like for my personal taste. And therefore, yeah, I thought a combination of both of them would be nice. But maybe in a different area where this is possible. And here we are. So, right now everything looks very how you would call it, like all same, because everything has the grass texture. but as soon as I'm done with removing those terraces, I will make the first texture adjustments, that we get some rocks at the steeper parts and maybe some wood texture on the top of the mountains. Yeah, and maybe you ask yourself how I made this this landscape, and I used the program World Machine for it. And I like to use this World Machine for, first I only used it for the background mountains, because for the terrain it always has these terraces, but in the meantime I like to use it for even for the map itself, and then I have some work to smooth everything out. But the mountains and valleys, they get more interesting with this program as when I paint them myself. So if they are too much self-made, you can always tell, okay, this is in no way natural, that is painted somehow. And here we have more randomness. And this program, it thinks about erosion and all this stuff, and I can tell the program, okay, make a valley for a river here and a valley for a river here, and the actual river I have to dig myself with the landscaping tool, but for the valley it made it really good. Yeah, and the idea is maybe I will have the second part of the town here outside of the map, and so the map border will be the big river somehow, and it goes like that. And maybe I changed this a little bit, that it doesn't look so cut in the end. So I think I'll work on this still, but for the beginning I'm rather happy with this mountainous area. So this is not the really high mountain, as you can see. It's more like yeah, medium-sized mountain. So now let's see, I save, and I must admit I love this stage of map building. When in the beginning I had a totally flat map, but this didn't work for recording, and then when I realized that I pressed the wrong button for recording, I was already in this mountainous stage, and then I thought, okay, good, then we start here. So now we do some texture, and with mountain rock, and I tell it only in the slope range about, it doesn't have a strong slope here, but to have a little bit mountain rock would be nice. So I try whether we get something with 40 degrees. And I could have made this even steeper. In the beginning I wanted, and then I thought, Oh, no, no. You have to go up to the mountains with your tractor, and if it's too steep, it's no fun. And therefore I left it like that. Maybe even that is too steep, so I have to make the roads that go slowly up the mountains, because this is too steep to climb with the tractor. But we don't get any color in the 40-degree area, so I try the 30 degrees. So everything above 30 degrees steepness gets painted. Oh, we still have this terraces here, so I overlooked them. So it's not so easy to detect in this all green stage, but when you paint over it with the rock texture, then you detect. Here I see even more. Okay. Yeah, and about this map, I want to have a central farm in this creek area where you can start with smaller fields. I try with 25 degrees. And, oh, okay, this was not the painting. And with not so many areas. It's not steep at all. Oh, and here we have still terraces. Okay, maybe I have to work more on the terraces. Yeah, but while I do it, I can tell you about what I want to do. So the main farm will be the Marigold Farm, and it's in the creek area with smaller fields so that you can start with smaller equipment. But I want to have more farms in this valley area, maybe one here and maybe one here, and with bigger fields. And yeah, here are some areas where we have small valleys in between the mountains, and maybe here I make very tiny farms as well. So wherever it's possible to grow crops, I will make an area with fields, and where it's too high up, I will make forest. That is the idea. So here, this looks like it could be mountainous. Yeah, here we have a bigger area that is steep. That is good. And here we have the same problem again with the terraces. So maybe I should have painted everything in rock color. That maybe that would have been easier to recognize. Or the wet sand. Then I could recognize the terraces better. But now I try again for this area. So yeah, still not so many. but I think the steepness, the overall steepness is enough, and I can add some more steepness with the landscaping tool. So if I want to have an area that is rather rocky somehow. Here. Okay, here again. So maybe I really paint everything in wet sand, or maybe we have dry sand. I have to check all the textures here. We don't have sand at all. What is a pity, but I will add sand because I like to have sand. And I already added the mountain rock. This was not included in the... So how do I do it? Maybe it's not too bad to make it with this slope limit, because then we can really see this very well. And I make it bigger. And here then we can see. Where are the terraces? And I can remove them, and then we can paint the rock texture. And there it's already okay. Oh, I really thought I had removed most of this terrace stuff. Yeah, but this is a good opportunity to just talk. Yeah, and special features for the map, I think I'll make rapid plant growth, like on my map Hinterland. So if you deactivate the seasons, the seasonal growth, the crops grow in 2 days. Because this is missing in the base game, and therefore I thought then I could put it on my maps, and then people who like to have rapid plant growth can use this on my maps. And if you don't want to have rapid plant growth, you are totally free to use the seasons. I think that most people who like to take their time with the crop growing and such, they enjoy the seasons as well, and therefore I think this is a good solution for most of the players. I think there are only very few players who deactivate seasons and want to wait 8 months for their crops to grow. But maybe there are. But there are hundreds of maps out there that have this experience with slow plant growth, and therefore I think this is a good idea. On Hinterland, as far as I know, the people enjoy the rapid plant growth. You can play more like in FS19 with this. and I want to add wheat and barley to be sown in spring as well, so you can seed them, sow them. Oh, I never learn how to pronounce it correctly, this seeding stuff. So you can grow them in spring and for sure in winter, in autumn, which is the typical style, but there is summer wheat and summer barley as well in reality, and this is rather easy to define in a map. And I thought maybe also some crops like rye, and what is the other one? Oh, I don't know the English word. Maybe it's even not so important or interesting in America. I don't know. In Germany or Europe, it is very fashionable. People like it. This dinkel. This people say it's healthier, but I don't know whether it's really healthier or only yeah, I think it's okay for this lines. I can just choose the grass texture below 25 degrees. So this is no problem. And oh, that was the wrong button. Okay. Yeah, but I don't want to make a lot of fancy stuff with a lot of multiple fruits. Maybe if I manage to get some carrots and maybe onions on my Wunzig map, then I can include it in this map as well. And maybe even some cabbage or such. And yeah, those are crop types. I think they are rather easy to make, so the 3D model seems not so difficult to me. I already built the cabbage and onions for my, not for my gardens, but for my FS19 gardens. Yeah, so for my gardens, yeah, but FS19 ones. So now we make grass. Tip, 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 tip. Where is it? Grass in the below 25 degrees to remove all those lines. Okay, and then I will add some wood texture to the mountain area. And maybe then we get a better impression. And here maybe I should even this out and then have another try. Now it's gone. Okay, yeah. That's good. Yeah, and as I love simple gardens so much, I think on making a garden, a normal farmer's garden at the main farm as well, where you can grow your vegetables and stuff. And that looks bucolic. So, okay. Yeah, for me it's always a little bit hard to get a feeling in the Giants editor for the steepness. So, okay, this looks rather steep for me now, but usually in-game it feels much steeper then. But the numbers are very low, so I would say not much mountain there, but I think it would be dangerous to make it much steeper. Maybe some areas. So that we have some rocky stuff like this. And here this texture is still very, very weak. But I already have a 4K texture for this. So I have an 8K texture for this, but this would be so big for the performance. So I don't think I want to have an 8K texture for the background mountains. I will find out what I want to make in the end. So, but I won't leave it like that, because this, yeah, even from far away it looks not good. What I find very strange is this looks like 500 no, one, at least no, at most a 1K texture, I would say, that because it's very, very flau. We say flau in Germany. I save, and then maybe I can show you the original texture in a different program. This is the original size. This is 100%. And I find it looks rather sharp and crisp and so. And this is for the whole area, so this is not used. And yeah, but even here I find it looks rather crisp on this whole screen. And if I have this, maybe if I, but it still doesn't look as crisp as on the texture file. So maybe the shader is making it more flau. I don't know, but I'll find a solution. And in the end, when there are trees here, then it will look better for sure. And so don't worry, this is not the final version. So now what I find rather sad somehow is that I can't say paint only above this height. So I want at at the height I want to have the mountain, the forest texture. Oh, here we still have this. Oh, quite a lot of stuff. So it's easy to overlook some things. So, and here, yes, yes. But in the end I will go over every single meter of this multiple times, and this is only the first impression coloring somehow. So yeah, I'm thinking about, I would like to limit the painting to a certain height. And here I can have a replace limit, but I don't know how it works. Maybe, and I don't know whether it works for texture painting. I know that this replace number works for sculpting. And here I would like to have a little bit more of this rock texture. Maybe I make 20 degrees and 90 degrees and try it again with the mountain rock. Yeah, we get much more. And still some terraces, but I will remove them. So maybe I just make this area now to check this out. And I think when the rivers are there, everything gets more understandable somehow. And here we have a small tiny mountain in the middle and something like a round tiny valley, and this is 100 meters. So if it would be square, this would be 1 hectare. I think you think in acres, more or less. Maybe I have to ask Google how much, and I always forget how much an acre is. Acre in hectare. 0.4. So 2.5 acres would be this. So this is only good for very, very small farm, but maybe we could have a chicken farmer here who has some trees here, or even something else, production or so. So here I smooth, and then I paint again. Smoothing doesn't help. And maybe the other way around, 20 and 0 and grass. So, yeah, okay, now here we are. Good. Terrace is gone. So now I can see, here is the ridge of the mountain, and I can paint the forest texture. I hope we have a forest texture here. Yeah, forest ground. If not, I would have made one. So. And okay, I can't limit to height, but I can limit to the slope, and then I can choose to only paint in the high areas with little slope, and then I get the top areas. And here. And then yeah, and I will think about those tiny mountains. They are so tiny they haven't even been colored. So 20 up to 90. We try again with some mountain rock. Ah, no, here we are. And here this is very narrow. But why not having a narrow entryway? But I will make it a little bit wider, and that it feels more like yeah, that you can drive there with your car and tractor and such. And here maybe I will make it steeper, that you get the feeling, okay, here it's done with come on, sometimes it disappears. Okay. Yeah, and my plans for the farm buildings are that I wanna, maybe I can show you even. And here I have to smooth the kind of farmhouse I wanna make. But first I have to change this again. And the grass. Yes. So let's see whether I find it. It could be there. I have all the Elm Creek houses here to have them ready to use, but as I said, the farm building I want to make myself, but I want to use one as inspiration. I think it's must be over. Oh, it's not there anymore because it's a placeable now. So, but it's the nice one with the three thingies on the three dormers at the roof from the horse farm. My favorite house from. Oh, what happened here? This is not intentional. My favorite house from Elm Creek, and I couldn't cut it open to make it walkable for my modern farm building pack. Therefore, I want to build it new from scratch, and then you can walk inside and have your furniture and such. and that would be the main farm building. If I find the time, maybe I make a second one, a smaller one, but I don't know yet, because those buildings always take so much time, which is the main problem on my German map. But I want to make this these buildings myself. Yeah, and if you are stubborn like that, you have to work a lot. So I think this mountain, yeah, this is important in the middle of the map. And that I will see. Maybe I smooth them out to have more place in this area, because this will be the main farm, and I want some proper fields there. No, not the huge fields, but some proper usable fields. Yeah, and then with the farm buildings, I'm thinking on either I use the Red American Farm barn that I already built, that is available at ModHub. Okay, here we need some rocks. Oh, and you see the terraces, always the terraces. They are somehow a pain in the neck. But when you are working and be patient, sooner or later they're gone. Okay, so we make all this a forest area. At the border here, you will not be able to go. So let's say maybe this far, like this far, will be the border area where you won't be able to go and to use it and to buy fields, because then if you just go over here, you don't have this poorly textured background area directly in front of your nose, but you still have some nicely textured map area. So it will be a full map, but with a border area about this size around the whole map. That's what I'm planning for the moment. And I made the like that in Hinterland, and I'm quite happy with this. Yeah, because where the this is not what I wanted. I wanted to make the mountain rock here. Yeah, it gives somehow a good feeling if you go there like this, and here are trees and so, and then here it stops, and it's not so obvious that you go to the background area that is looking different. On Erlengrad, the map was built very, very close to the edge, and it looked so ugly with the background. And even when the background has a better texture, a bigger texture, this it's never as good as the texture directly on the map. So now again 0, 20, tap, tap. Oh, no. the forest texture. Okay. Yeah, like so. I can imagine better how the landscape will be. Even if it's not the final. And here we have a nice area. Maybe we could have something like a sheep farm here also. And here is a foresty area as well. Maybe even there. I will think about it. Maybe I leave some flat areas that are elevated with meadow. Yeah, and I know that most of the area in around the Yellowstone River is not full of lush meadows, but more like dry rocky mountains, and so therefore it's fantasy map and no realistic map. And maybe here a little small ridge. Forest. Okay. Yeah. And maybe I just try to give the background the best texture that I have. So I just produced the bigger one. I have it and I saved it as this. And now I try to reload the textures. And I hope the Giants editor doesn't explode from this. Maybe I have to activate a shader that it looks better. I don't know yet, but I will find out. For the hinterland it worked quite nice. And well, that's it already. Yeah, it says ready. And it still doesn't look crisp, and it's a 8K texture. So does it look better? I'm not happy with this still. And I try to improve it with freeze transformation. Maybe this helps. Yes! Yes, it helped. Oh, it helped a lot. Look how it looks now. This is because it thought it would be a small object, and then it was sized up enormously, and now it knows that it's a huge object, and it looks perfect. But I think now this is not needed, so I make it smaller again, because this is yeah, just too much. Okay, so this is the small one already. So I save it. Well, it's not the small one because it's still quite big. So we have to wait. It says ready, okay. Yeah, it's still okay. Okay, like this I'm quite happy. Yeah. And here now the color of the forests are totally different because we only have this brownish forest ground, and here we have the forest color, somehow the color with trees, but this will become similar when there are trees on top of everything. Yeah, now I'm much more happy. Yeah, this is how it should look. Yeah, and somehow I would have liked to have more of this flat area on the map, but maybe it's nice to have a town here where we play, and to have a town outside that it looks like lived in somehow, but we don't waste a part of the map for this. Yeah, and here I will dig the river for sure. So I have to work on this object, but that is no problem. Okay. I would like to make the rivers now, because that's always nice, but I think for this video it's already enough, and for me it's very late now, and yeah, next time we can make the rivers, and I think then we get much more feeling for how it will look. And then we can make the forests and to give this shape, and then we can maybe already start building the little town, because I want to use the townhouses from Elm Creek, and they are already waiting for us here beneath. Here they are. I won't use all of them. I don't know whether I want to use those enormous silo constructions here, because for me this disturbs the feeling of bucolicness. And I like this map to be bucolic. We will see, but we will have productions and selling stations, so don't worry. Okay, yeah, that's it for the first birth of the map Marigold Farm. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.